Welcome back, everyone, to a very Spanish-themed Watch More Football, episode 31. At least from my point of view, I don't know what the other guys are doing, but we'll get to that. You're watching us in the Genre of Sports YouTube channel. It's brand new. Please check it out. You can catch all our previous 30 episodes of Watch More Football on there if you want to catch up on what we've been talking about in terms of the football world. While you're on there, we're also part of the Genreverse family. So our main Genreverse YouTube channel has got a lot more stuff on it. And it's entertainment news, reactions, reviews, loads of stuff like that. Interviews are on there as well. In fact, we also have interviews on our main LRM channel. And if you want written entertainment news, etc., check out lrmonline.com. I'm currently reviewing House of the Dragon weekly episodes at the moment, so if you're interested in finding out what I think of that on a weekly basis, check out lrmonline.com.
Mine's just
So,
unless it's anything to go by your football knowledge.
Well, I mean, it's got nothing to do with my football knowledge at all. No, it's purely just my dumb old opinion on what makes a good or a bad story, which is very subjective, isn't it? You know, so
much like
as
football.
much as we were, there's a quite, I guess it is, like, you know, when you watch a football game, different people will see different things in the game. Like, I see England playing at the moment, and I think he's a pish.
We all see the same thing.
You've been extremely lucky. I just don't know how you've been jammy enough to make it through this far at the moment. But Dave's doing that, and then I'll just point them out to you, right? So
because we've done better than the other teams.
You scored a last-minute equaliser
in pretty much every game. We've only scored in the last 10 minutes in most games, haven't we?
Yeah, I mean, I think you've not played well, but get through because of the draw being very kind to you.
Well, I mean, yeah.
I mean,
when you look at the teams,
I see everything that's gone so far in England. I only see one thing, and I see it's coming home. It's coming home. It's coming. Football's coming home.
Cam will not be on for a while, by the way, after Sunday.
I did say I don't expect to see me on the next show of Watch More Football if England win the European Championships, because I'm not doing that. That sounds like the worst nightmare in the world to me, having to do a podcast on football 2 days after England won a tournament. I can't actually think of anything worse than that.
So we can do it the day after if you like.
No. Well, you know, that'd be.
You can
worse.
watch it with me.
After would be worse, but you know, I can maybe put up with the week after it. You know, I'll maybe come back again. But you know, if you guys just want to scream and talk about how great England are, you know, I'll let you just go ahead and do that. Kyle,
you know what he's going to do,
and we'll just put it out there. You know, you can put it out.
You know what he's going to do? He's going to do a Ryan, spit his dummy out, and leave the WhatsApp group, isn't he?
And ask for his Reddit account to be deleted.
Tell you what, see the amount of time I spend a day with Sky Sports News on, I don't think I'll be able to do that. I'm going to have to find something else to put in the telly in the background, like while I'm working during the day.
Braveheart.
I'm watching it half the time.
Watch Braveheart and repeat.
You guys know I see every story that comes up in Sky Sports News because it's just constantly on in my TV because I'm sitting working away and it's just on in the background because I work from home a lot. I won't be able to do that because they're just going to talk about England non-stop. Anyway, we're not there yet. We have our saviours, Spain, who, you know, are a far better team than England, and have won far more trophies than England have. And my money's going on them. Actually,
are we getting our predictions in now?
Well,
you said Germany in 2010.
Yeah. And see that this is the truth, right? I actually don't like. Normally, I would just be like Spain, and I would mean it because they are the better team. But I've also got a funny feeling. I never had this feeling when you played Italy last time. I thought the Italians are going to do this, but I've got a funny feeling this time. That
and we're robbed there as well.
Everything being as jammy as what it's been, that you're just going to go over a line, and that's my fear.
Robbed against Italy as well, weren't we?
Yeah.
I mean,
all these times in the tournaments that have things went totally against her. like Lampard over the line, Sol Campbell's goal that wasn't given.
Let's face it, that wasn't going to make much of a difference. Murder that World Cup.
It would have made a difference. It would have made a massive difference.
If you think about it logically, Lampard's disallowed goal against Germany has actually got us to the point we are now, because that was the catalyst for goal line technology, and then that broke the dam that allowed VAR in, and VAR is what gave Harry Kane his penalty last night.
The dam that should have broke the camel's back on camera technology was the goal that he's never scored in the 1966 World Cup. And he's got it anyway just because it was in England and the referees were probably for West Ham or something like that. I mean,
it was miles over the line.
That goal never went in. Everybody
miles over the line.
You know, English fans just
I was there.
It went over the line.
I was over
the line. Cam could have been there.
Not quite. No, my dad may have been old enough to go, although he would never have been there in a million years. Although he was there in '67 when the Scotland team not only beat that World Cup winning England team, but absolutely humiliated them in their own backyard, and Jim Baxter played keepy-uppy in the middle of the pitch. Anyway,
I didn't realise you got a trophy for that, sorry.
60 years ago. Well done.
Apparently, I was arguing online about this, that Scotland have never won anything, and I was corrected online by someone, although this is very dubious, but someone pointed out to me that when international football first started, you had the Home Nations Cup because we had no one else to play at that time, which was England, Scotland, Wales and Ireland, or Northern Ireland, one of the two. And Scotland won the first two ever Nations Cups.
I bet that team was probably full of England players who couldn't get into the England team, just like this one.
It wouldn't have been then, would it, Dave? Because they didn't have those rules then.
What happened as well?
So it was a bunch
of Welsh. What happened as well is when the Northern working class team started winning the FA Cup over the sort of private school boys, they did that by tempting Scottish players down with a job in the factories, and the Scots were actually, they were better tactically. And
Scotland were a major component for a lot of the best English teams. Most of the best English teams, if you look at in the sort of before the money kind of kicked in big style, they all had a Scottish player in it. The Liverpool Revolution started with them buying Ian St John, which they spent a crazy amount of money on, considering they were a second division team at the time. But anyway, that's a story for another podcast, and how Liverpool aren't as innocent as everybody says. But anyway, on to your predictions then. So how do you think it's going to go, this final between Spain and
5-0.
What did you put, Dave?
I put Spain to win 3-0. Because you know me.
That's probably just you. Yeah, I was going to say that's just a deep thing to do.
There you go. Right, Dave said Spain's going to win. You've got a good feeling that England's going to win. England's going to win it.
I mean, that would be true if Chelsea always won every game that Dave predicts that they get beat, but sometimes he's right. That's the thing.
Well, not towards the end of last season. I mean, from Christmas onwards, we were very good. So we only started doing the show just before Christmas, so it didn't really turn out well for me.
No, I guess not. Ryan, what's your prediction?
I went for 2-1 England. Mainly heart over head, but after last night's performance, I'm a lot more confident than I was going into it. I thought if we got through the semi-final, going into the game last night, I thought if we got through it, we'd get battered in the final because of how good Spain are. But I think there's just something about them where they could just eke out a result. It's not, we're not going to play them off the park, but there's just something about it this year, isn't it?
But yeah, unfortunately, you're probably a little bit right, and that's what worries me. Mick, what about you? What's your prediction?
I've basically, I went 1-0 England.
1-0 England.
Yeah, I just like Ryan. It's after last night. The first half we played the best football we played this tournament.
I think we played the best football we've played. It's the best football we've played probably under Southgate.
But is that on par with how Spain are playing this tournament? They're so quick at moving
the ball.
Matter.
It doesn't really matter, to be honest.
It doesn't really matter. I mean, I guess it does depend on the opposition you're playing a little bit. But yeah, I would agree that you look very comfortable, very switched on compared to the rest of the tournament.
The only issue I had was
Spain looked absolutely dynamite against.
Yeah, they do. Yeah, they still look a little bit suspect against Germany. They did against
that
France.
Germany team was great, but
I think as well what we've seen in both the last two knockout games with Spain, where they've come up against decent opposition, is they've got their lead and they've been quite happy to sit on that pretty much straight away, in much the same way England have. Now they're a lot better on the ball than we are, but they, if they sit back and we sort of have that impetus and we bring on the likes of Palmer and Watkins and run at them, we can cause them problems. I mean, the other thing is they've got experience in their side with the likes of Carvajal and Rodri, and Morata, I suppose. But
is he going to be fit?
Their best players are really sort of quite fresh and quite inexperienced, and Lamine Yamal is a ridiculous player, but he's only 16. Can he be that ridiculous?
He's going to be 17 by the final.
Oh,
maybe
well, fine then.
That's the equivalent of his voice breaking. He might just lose all of his talent.
I mean, he's on the tail end of his career now.
Adrian Rabiot said about him, he's only 16. He's got to learn, a few things, and then he just came out and scored an absolute.
Yeah, we know not to wind up Lamal now. So
yeah, the only issue I've got is basically the start of the second half where he made the sub, the tactical change, and we ended up sitting off a bit too much.
Yeah.
If we do that against Spain, we will be punished.
In the second half, I'll be honest. I thought not great.
Well, the first 20 minutes of that second half, they were. After that, we started like.
I think it's less a tactical thing and more again, it's the mentality and just to sort of calm it down, slow it down, and if we can do that against Spain and actually sort of get hold of the ball for 5 minutes at the time, again, that's good going. If we've got something to hold on to. But again, you look at the first half and how well we played. When Memphis Depay came off, Koeman used that as an opportunity to completely rejig his tactical setup. He took a striker off for a midfielder because of how well Rice, Mainu, and Bellingham were working in that midfield, and Foden, because it is sort of a box midfield. You've got Rice and Mainu, and then Bellingham and Foden just ahead, and that offers more control than I've ever seen from an England side in midfield, I think.
Yeah.
Well, I was thinking about it, and I am going to go with my heart over my head a little bit, because I think there's no way I can catch Kyle in the league, which we'll talk about the league standings in just a little minute anyway, but I don't think I can really catch him now, so there's no point in trying to kind of guess the right result, so I'm just going to go 3-0 Spain, get it up easy. That's my prediction.
8 times 5 booster, you'll get it, man.
I mean, it's possible. It's possible. I mean, if I just cheated, and let's just talk about Cheatgate as well. I don't know, Kyle, if you can bring up the league, the Watch More Football League that we have going at the moment that we've been running. If anybody was watching the last time, let me just explain the story to you, right? So the last time that we were on, we found out that Ryan's dad, Mike, he had been using these boosts and scoring things, and we kind of admonished that and said we're not going to do it anymore. And at the time, Mick's like, I didn't know, and I've just done it for this week. And we're kind of like, right, okay, fair enough. He's done it this week. So we said, look, if you take your ill-gained points off, you can still be in the league. The next week, somebody discovered Ryan had now started doing it. Ryan's excuse was, yeah, I did it. I'm going to catch up with these. Fuck it. That was basically, I didn't try to say anything like, he just went for it. And of course, that was a good enough excuse for Mick to say, well, if he's doing it, I'm fucking doing it as well. And Mick's done it every week since then as well. And the two of them just refused to stop. So I can't remember what the league standings are actually right now, and obviously I can't see what
I think
I'll read them off. I'll read them off to you by the page. It's Mike, Ryan's dad, at number 1 with 245. Me, 216. Mick 213, Ryan 201, Cam 198, and Dave 185.
Oh, so Ryan's actually got ahead of me now. That's impressive. You must have used a quadruple, triple, quintuple boost score factor in or something like that to do that. Because what was interesting was that up until at least the game yesterday, most of the people who were cheating weren't even doing that well in the league. So
what happened was you predicted a draw in the England game, and that activated my trap card, so I got all of your points basically.
Oh, right, that's how it was.
The thing is, though, is it cheating when you go onto an app to do predictions, and then if these boosters are there for you to use on these predictions? If you all agree not
to, then it is.
I just want to say, to my memory, the rules of engagement were never set out like that. I think. We raised the idea
to begin with.
So we mentioned my dad catching up because he missed the first round. We mentioned my dad catching up because he used the boosts, and then you guys were all. I didn't even know there were any boosts, and I went, well, I just didn't bother with them. I don't think we ever then went, fine, they're off the table.
Oh no, we did.
We did.
It's recorded.
Even Kyle says we did.
Yeah, you guys did.
29 or something like that. You watch more football, right? And you'll see it in there that we did say that was it. And on our
scores only.
Group, I don't think
scores only.
Yeah, we agreed that's what we were going to do. Scores only going forwards. And then the next week you broke that rule specifically.
But can we just focus on the fact that the guy who's most viewed time of this entire tournament was while eating Mexican food in an airport, restaurant when England was playing? Was it Switzerland or what? I don't even know. Whoever it was, they were playing.
Sorry,
I saw like
some
10 minutes of that. That's it, and no boosts, no nothing, and there I am in second. Compared to the guy that did use booze, I find it funny. I'm just saying, I find it funny. What's your guys' excuse?
Well, normally I would be averse to praise you in any way because I just don't like doing it. It's more interesting to slag you off. But because you never cheated, I'm going to back you up on this one and say well done, Kel, for beating almost everybody except the Michael named people of the group.
Well, put it this way,
you're still beating me.
If my dad ends up top, like it looks like he will, he's already got one of those manky little cups that I offered last time, so I'll send one to you anyway.
Okay, cool.
So I think, you can have your own league. The way I see it is, Kyle is in first place, I'm in second place, and Dave's in third place.
Yeah,
and the rest of you are in your own league.
Yeah,
it's the Clean Living League versus the Cheetos Conference.
All right.
No, we're in the
same league as Lance Armstrong.
Yes,
Dave Johnson.
we're in the Euro Prediction Super League, where more points equals more entertainment, and there you go.
So Dave, Cam,
yeah.
How does it feel to lose to someone who's never watched football?
I'm proud of.
If we're not in that league,
I'm proud of Kyle. I hope this is the beginning of the.
Listen, as far as we know, Kyle might have looked up what is the mathematically most correct, the most likely score from all the bookies before he done every betting, and he's just went with the bookies.
I hear he's got a subscription to Opta.
So what that app does,
is there something that can help? Wait, no, hold on. Is that something that can actually help me make money? What is it?
I don't think so. What else everyone
it's basically the big stats database for football. I don't know if they do other sports.
That app, anyway.
I don't have time for. I don't have time for that.
There's a reason they say football's a funny old game because anything can happen.
Dave, you're not
point. If you go by the stats, Spain win the game against England every day of the week. All the stats back it up. But it might not happen because it's football.
So in the app, when you're choosing a score, it shows you what other people have predicted and the percentage of it. So you know kind of what majority of people are, and you get more points, don't you? If you get
more points if you go less. Yeah,
that's how
I started doing that. That's when
big
right down.
So that's how I got such a big lead in the first round because I was just going hot takes left, right, and centre, and a few of them came in.
And I started doing that the second time.
That's what happens in the first round of a tournament is. Shit happens.
You're right. Yeah, that gets less as the tournament goes on. You're right. Yeah.
Just for conversational purposes, the sports betting app that I do have for like if I want to do something on like baseball or hockey does something similar where you can see what the trends are, what other people are betting on, like the money line, right, which is the win or lose, because real sports don't end in ties. Anyways, I'll usually look at a team's like previous 5 games or so, depending on what
noticed
type
that he
of
said that
league
whenever
it
he
is.
gets that dead American, he says it in that Team America voice. It becomes like the Team America.
Yes.
Fuck yeah. It's the voice. You can actually hear the voice change to America. It's mental.
You can hear the Eagles as well, can't you?
But all I do is I'll look at it, and this is not any advice because I don't actually bet very often. So I am not offering gambling advice whatsoever. But generally, all I do is I'll look at like the past like 5 games or so, and for this, I had nothing to go by on the first thing except looking at what those percentages were and kind of being like a little bit feels, but a little bit based on almost 80% of people across all these different scores that they are showing are saying that this one team is likely to earn 1 point because like 3 out of the 4 choices will have one team making 1 point. And then
I don't know. That sounds like cheating words to me.
How does that work? Like
it sounds like
I think it's
sounds like he's using his head.
He's in the cheating.
and then I just once a couple of rounds had gone through, then I kind of had something to base off of that team's performance, and so. That's what I did. I do similar with.
Let's see how you do next year.
I said 2-1 Spain for what it's worth. So we'll see.
I put it to you guys that is more
what
the
you've
spirit
put
of the game than using the triple double
actually
bonuses.
trying to use intelligence to work at scores.
Yeah, it's just not right and proper, and it's not how we do it
not
in
in
this
this
country,
league.
I'm afraid, Kyle.
We don't do that in this league. We don't use our brains here and watch more football. God damn it.
My wife was like, it's funny because you guys like follow football and stuff like that, and I don't. I was like, yeah. It's like, I wonder if it's like this for all Brits. Man, I should be a bookie for Brits. I'd make bank.
Can we
Kel, you just
try and predict the NFL season when it comes back and see what happens?
You guys want to? Sure, go ahead.
I mean, I don't really, to be honest. I don't even know how it works. I don't even know how.
Too many games. I can't be
Is it like 372?
Too many stoppages.
How many points?
They don't have innings, do they? That's cricket that's get innings. Is it quarters?
Nobody understands cricket. You got to know what a crumpet is to understand cricket. All right, carry on, guys.
Yeah. Well, I mean, I'm going to open the floor to you guys anyway. To which would you want to talk about the England versus Holland game? Do you want to talk about Spain versus France, or do you want to talk about the final and predictions? Where do you want to go next?
Briefly discuss it all, but
yeah, we didn't really discuss the Spain-France game. It was a really good game, though.
It was a good game, yeah. But
it was
France
one of the best games of the tournament.
As they usually are, but I think that's because they were behind. We've been the 27th minute, and they had the more chances, but Spain were pretty good.
Yeah.
I mean, it's a good game.
The early goal from France didn't really sort of do anything. Spain just went, "Nah, fuck it, we'll just."
They had enough time to just be patient with it.
Yeah.
And
Mbappe
2-1 by half time, wasn't it?
It was 2-1 within about half an hour.
Yeah. Spain scored the first goal on the 21st minute and the second goal on the 26th. Yeah, I think.
Yeah. And then after that, they kind of didn't need to score, and France needed to come at them.
And that's what Spain have done really well. Is I know they sort of went to town on Georgia a bit, but they've got their lead and they've just sort of calmed things down in a way that I think England want to do, but they just look a bit more assured in it.
It's the Rodri effect.
And this is sort of coming back to England style, even though France are known as this sort of hyper defensive team, when they were keeping the ball and when they were trying to look after it, they were still working their way up the pitch fairly steadily. It was still keeping the ball and playing safe passes, but still moving forward, whereas England would just be in a straight horizontal line for a lot of parts of their games.
I would actually say that France's forwards had a worse tournament than England's, because at least Kane's got a couple of goals, Watkins scored.
I think
Bellingham
at this point you've got to say that England's forwards have had a good
any
tournament.
of France's forwards scored at all?
Mbappe got a penalty. Colin Mawani got a header to open the scoring.
It was just lots of poor finishing from France. They created more chances than England have throughout the tournament, but it's just been poor finishing.
Well, you think that header was the first goal they scored in open play?
Yeah.
In the tournament.
And that's, the
strange
thing
one,
is as
yeah,
well,
look at the team,
no matter what happens now, French fans are going to look back at this tournament and the only thing they're going to remember is Kylian Mbappe having his nose on sideways. That is all they are going to remember from this tournament. No matter what happens on Sunday, England are going to remember Bellingham's overhead kick. They're going to remember Saka's screamer against Switzerland. They're going to remember Watkins scoring a fucking fantastic goal to win it last night. So even though a lot of the football's been dull, the players have stepped up and provided those moments when they've been needed. And
all we're going to remember at the end of this is the Lamine Yamal hat trick that he got in the final against England, and how it was basically an announcement as a new Pele. That's
something else. Scotland on that playing home again after the group games.
Oh, they got Scotland were in it. Oh my god! Yeah. God.
Do you know this? They weren't even the most ranked team in the tournament, but they were the worst team.
We don't remember any tournament for the fact that Scotland were in it because we always go home early. So it's just no use. We
remember the 5-1 opening game.
Yeah, the 5-1 opening game.
Do we really, guys? No.
Of course we do.
I don't know any case of that. That was weeks ago. It's water under the bridge. Anyway, but yeah, I mean, I kind of wanted Spain to go through. I don't know. I've not got any particular affinity despite the flag behind me, for Spain over France. Though nobody likes the French.
Spain have been the best team in this tournament. They've been the best to watch. Yeah. Definitely, they've scored the most goals. They've conceded the least amount of goals. Germany.
I've enjoyed watching their games.
Germany at first looked like they were going to be similar, but I think they fell off quite a bit. Germany, and I don't, I don't think they really did enough to try and force it through in the quarterfinal.
Spain, isn't it?
Well, yeah, but it wasn't the big clash of titans.
I think Portugal would have done them as well.
Yeah, you're right, Ryan. Yeah, it wasn't the exciting game I was expecting.
Yeah.
I think Portugal would have beat them.
Wrong impression of Germany.
Portugal would have as well.
Because of the game against Scotland. I think Scotland were just really, really bad in that game. I don't think you look back at that game and you just think the tactics were all wrong.
I think
no one looked interested. No one was running. Everything was terrible about Scotland in that game, and I think it made Germany look too good because they weren't that good against Switzerland.
No.
Yeah, I know. So obviously Scotland have got a few players playing at big clubs. They've got a few players who play for the Old Firm, and they've got the big atmosphere in the Old Firm derbies. But a lot of those players will not have experienced that sort of environment at all, and I think a lot of them just froze in terms of, the 4% of the population of Scotland being in Munich on the day of the match, the massive outpouring of emotion during the national anthem, it being in the host city, it being the opening game of the tournament. There's just so much swirling around that, and I just don't think they were equipped to deal with that really. And fine, they were going to be up against it anyway, but
that's kind of the thing as well. There's really no, like, you guys, like England team, you always have. You can feel it. You can see the pressure on the England players sometimes, like when they're not playing well. You can see it's like it feels heavy on their shoulders. Scotland don't have that. No one.
Yeah, I don't think it was. I don't think it was pressure. I just think it was. It was the sense of occasion because you've got a fairly big number of players who just play in the Championship or at sort of lower down Scottish Premier League size, and there's just nothing to match that level of occasion in those games.
You know what happened last time Spain played a British team?
Lost 5-1.
What?
Oh, 1-5-1.
What?
Scotland beat last time Spain played a British team.
Yeah,
they got beat.
A competitive game.
Yeah, they got beat of Scotland.
Yeah, they got beat off Scotland. Yeah.
And they're going to get beat on Sunday, I think.
So we just need to claim Scott McTominay back, and it'll all be fine.
I mean, you could. I think he would go. I wouldn't miss him. I don't give a shit about these English people pretending that they're Scottish. Like, you know what I mean?
You can't say somebody whose literal name.
A bit of irony there, by the way.
Yeah, Scott McTominay is the most Scottish sounding person.
McScotty, McFucking Scott. I don't give a fuck. It doesn't matter. You could be. You could be three generations in Canada, and your name could be McScotty, Scott. It doesn't make you Scottish.
They had to tone it down from Haggis to Braveheart.
McTominay's no really
Cam,
Scottish, is he?
Where were you born?
What?
Where were you born, Cam?
Them they having a problem with mix. Look, you can't help where you're born. But look at me, you wouldn't say, oh, he should never be playing for Scotland. He's English. You would never say that. You would be like, that guy's Scottish and he's passionate to play for Scotland. I mean, just listen to his accent.
I'm a Chelsea supporter. I wasn't born in London.
I'm a Manchester United supporter, and I was at least born in the Greater Manchester area, but not really.
I thought the Greater Manchester area just counts as anywhere in the British Isles.
Although technically, since I was born, they did a rejig of the borders, and I'm now technically the place of my birth is in Merseyside, so that's a bit of a.
So you support Everton?
It's close enough.
Tranmere.
You can be a Scouse, Markham.
No, he supports Tranmere.
Obviously, let's say the miracle happens and England does win a tournament. How will you react to that? Do you think will you be try to go out
another reason why I think that it will win,
or will you just sit in the home and have a quiet?
I'm at the pub with my mates, so
I'm at home because it is. I'm at home with the family because it is literally my son's second birthday on Sunday. That is why England's going to win it.
I'm around my dad's. My eldest is coming with me. He's been watching the whole tournament with me, which has been good. I'm hoping that can carry on into the club season. But if we win, 11 o'clock at night, I will be driving the sort of 5-6 miles home, full horns blaring, 3 lions as loud as I can possibly get it out of the car. Fuck anyone trying to be in there.
As you'd imagine, there won't be so much action happens up my way. It'll be quiet if England wins. I would imagine, there won't be very many busy
day
pubs.
of mourning.
There won't be much action happening. Everybody will just stay at home and kind of keep quiet. Apart from like that
turn
one
the internet
guy
off. Turn the radio
that lives down your street that married a Scottish woman or something.
If last night's anything to go by, I think his 7-year-old, he's 8 next month, will have his top off running down the street.
I mean,
he was running around the house with his top off swinging around his head.
Yeah,
that's what he was doing last night.
You might as well learn now.
That's the equivalent of a bird leaving its nest.
Maybe one day he'll be doing that with his Newcastle top.
Will you be partaking in the bank holiday that Keir Starmer has got to follow through on and actually give us if we win?
Yes, because I believe that we should use it as an opportunity to all get pished and
drown your sorrows.
Basically, yeah. Scotland should have and Wales and Northern Ireland. I mean, I'm not being exclusive here. It's not just us that don't want to see England win. I don't think India, Northern Ireland, or Wales wants to see you win it either. But probably not many people.
Yeah. Just for background, mainly for Kyle and any other American viewers. So we had an election a couple of weeks ago, and we've got a new Prime Minister now, who has spent the last few years in opposition. England got to the final of the Women's World Cup last year, and while he was the leader of the opposition, he went, if they win it, there should be a bank holiday the day after. Obviously, he's Prime Minister now, and he's made a lot of his sort of... He interrupted a NATO summit to watch the Harry Kane penalty last night, I think. But actually, logistically, how do you give a bank holiday at 11 o'clock the night before? I don't understand.
Saudi Arabia didn't beat Argentina.
I'm not sure. Yeah. What they might do is they might give it another day, like a few days away or something like that.
No one wants a bank holiday on a Tuesday. That's ridiculous.
Breaks the week up.
I don't know. Or they'll do it the next weekend and they'll call it the celebration, even though they couldn't do it right away. But he did say, obviously, he's not going to announce a bank holiday until we've won it. Or till you've won it. I'm going for his.
I love that. We've won it and now you're
he's on board. He's on board.
So, slip of the tongue. But,
it's recorded.
Talking from Keir Starmer's point of view, anyway, that's what he said. We've went through this before, if I'm quoting somebody else, I need to do the actual quotation marks. I was talking from Keir Starmer's point of view. Mm-hmm. Okay, so Keir Starmer said, we've not won it yet. So therefore there was no point in announcing a bank holiday because if you get beat, then, you wouldn't want it. You wouldn't want to have it. So it's fair enough. It's a bit of a catch.
I don't care.
I mean, I'm not going to want to go to work the next day.
I don't get
way,
bank holidays, so it doesn't mean anything to me.
I was going to say, how many people will actually get it anyway? I'm betting that, we won't get it in Scotland. It would just be England only, because that would probably just be a bit weird. And that most people these days don't get bank holidays anyway, and they'll be at their work because their work is like American based, and they don't give a shit whether England won the Euros or not. Getting to work the next day. We're an American company. We don't do being nice. We want you in working.
We don't do benefits.
Working your fingers to the
like
those Americans. Like those Americans that never get any holidays.
Are you working yet?
Like that, You wouldn't get a bank holiday for America winning something. You would probably get more work. Overtime for it.
No. Although in the Army, for college football championship and the Super Bowl, commands would often give you like a late, like first formation would be later, like 9 a.m. instead of 6 a.m., like no PT. So you'd get to come in a little bit later nursing your hangover for Super Bowl Sunday and the college football championship. I had one battalion commander that was a huge baseball fan, and on the day after Game 7 of some World Series, he gave same thing, late work call. That's
See, I think that's a bit overkill because you guys win the World Series every year. I can't think of a time America haven't won the World Series.
It's like that meme. How many Super Bowl championships does Europe have? 0, exactly. Shut up. I love that meme.
It's a dominance, World Series, Super Bowl, and to be fair, the NBA championships is not a lot of European teams win that either. So.
Kyle, can I just ask you?
What's up?
Who are you wanting to win on Sunday?
Spain, because 1776. Screw you guys.
Yeah. You're basically English.
Right answer. Right
follow-up question.
And my name is Kyle Patrick Malone. I'm Irish as fuck. So again, fuck you guys.
But you're Irish on the Protestant side, I think.
No, actually, honestly, my grandfather's family was Catholic, but he cut himself off, like in every possible way. So he married a Protestant woman, and that's how that kind of came.
Right.
Yeah.
Okay.
So
I get it. Because like in Ireland, you would be like shunned.
Yeah, 100%. What was your?
That's why you're in America.
That's why I'm in America with all the guns. What was your question, Ryan?
So I was going to say, obviously, you guys have had the Copa America going on.
We got kicked out like first round or something like that. I heard on the news.
Has that impacted you at all? Have you been doing the shoppings and been surrounded by Argentinians and Colombians with the tits out and everything like that, or just not giving a shit?
Is there any
being beaten up by Darwin Nunez?
I don't think anyone here noticed that we got. It was first round, right? I heard something on the news about it. Yeah. I don't think anyone here
near you that
even
any of the games
understood that it was happening. What's that?
I was asking if there's any stadiums near you that are showing any of the games, because I don't know what the schedule is.
No, not that I'm aware of.
Yeah.
So there's no sort of... I mean, because obviously we've talked about how Cam's feeling about England being in the final, so there's been no sort of public outcry in period of mourning for the fact that Canada got to the semi-finals.
No. So soccer here...
So it's just a Scottish thing.
To be honest, the times that we hear most about football, soccer, what have you, deals specifically with the World Cup. Now there are teams. I've seen people wearing like I think there's a team in not Boston, Baltimore, I think it is. I think there's a DC team. Like I'll occasionally see some US, like even LA Galaxy jerseys or something like that out and around here. Where soccer is biggest, believe it or not, is usually like high school. Like there's where you're going to find most people will watch a soccer game. It's going to be their kids playing high school soccer. Like it's a relatively, even the high school I graduated from, Fort Campbell High School, had a very robust support for the soccer teams. Now, once you finished, no one was watching Major League Soccer or anything. No, I didn't at all. Went to watch the girls play sometimes when I was in high school, but that's about it.
Well, yeah, because it was quite popular for a while just with girls, wasn't it? Because maybe there's slightly less.
Is this true that USA are actually the first ever team, a host nation, to go out of the Copa America in the first round?
I have no
true.
idea.
Oh, no,
I'd have to look that up. But that wouldn't surprise me.
It's
to be fair,
true. It is true.
Yeah.
But again, how many Super Bowl championships does Europe have? Exactly.
Talking about that Copa America, there was a bit of an incident, and Kyle can put the video up, like the Twitter up, and sort of let you see some of the action without the sound as to what's going on. In this particular clip, we've all seen it, obviously, of Darwin Nunez. There was obviously a Royal Rumble was organised in the crowd. No one had told the cameraman, and Darwin Nunez knew all about it, and he was the last man in. So you see him kind of coming running over.
And adding number 30.
Jumping the top rope and getting a few elbows into people. But what did you guys make of that? I mean, is it just just standard?
Obviously, my brother was a Liverpool fan. My brother obviously is a Liverpool fan, so when Dave put that in the chat, I sent it to him and said, I think Darwin might be having a lengthy ban.
Yes.
But he looked into it a little bit more, and it was a bunch of pissed Colombians went and attacked the family section where all the Uruguayan family was.
It's not proved that yet.
Yeah, so I think that's been claimed.
It's near the family section.
So that's why you would, if you look at another video, you actually see Darwin Nunez was still on the pitch at the time, and he's seen it, and he literally legged it over within a couple of seconds.
What I don't get about
that, protect his family, grab his kids in. No, he grabbed a Colombian shot in his hand and used it as a guard. What
I don't get as well. That's what he did. What I don't get as well.
On the pitch with his son. Yeah. The way that his son looks really visibly upset.
That's after.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, of course,
it's after. I mean, before it. Trying to fight 500 Colombians.
I mean, a kid that small is going to be upset by that sort of hubbub, no matter what the cause of it was. But what I think as well is the video of Darwin Nunez chucking a chair. I've seen a video from the stand's perspective, and you've got sort of almost like a split halfway up the stand. All the Uruguayan fans are in the lower seats. All the Colombians are above them. So he's trying to lob a chair over his friends and family into the Colombians. So I don't really get what he's trying to achieve.
And someone actually grabs it and stops him from kind of being able to throw it, or else I think it could have been worse. Because he could have hit a Uruguayan fan.
He could have hit a child.
That's a good job. His aim's
is it
terrible,
that much worse than what Cantona
did? Some of his punches.
Much he get banned for?
Yeah,
Cantona was it 6 months? Hit. Cantona get banned for, or was it a full year? I can't remember.
It was a quality hit. He made it count, didn't he?
Equally, we all know the guy deserved it. That guy even admitted himself that he kind of deserved it in later
years. We need another live Kyle reaction on that.
Nothing.
Kyle, can you look up Eric Cantona Kung Fu Kick, please?
Oh my God.
When you look at Nunez's punches, they were just like shots. Every one of them off target.
Eric Cantona, Cantona.
Kung Fu Kick?
Yeah.
Let me see here. Back from May of last year?
I mean, it's about
May of before Aaron Ryan was born.
The battle's old.
Because that's the first thing that popped up was something from last year.
It could have been.
What you say? Was it 95, 96?
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
Hold on. He's wearing black and gold. Here comes.
Yeah, he's wearing black. Yeah, that's the one.
Okay, so he's being walked off now. Did I miss the?
Keep watching.
Miss the kick. Okay.
Yes.
He's being walked off and talked to by like three people. All right. We're showing some skirmish stuff with the crowd. Other players. Oh, he went down the tunnel. Does he come back running out to kick?
No,
you must have.
Yeah.
You must have missed it.
Oh, damn. Okay, I see. Damn. Like over the rail. Like, damn. He wanted it. He wanted to get that kick. That looked like a kid he was trying to kick. Damn. Or
No,
looked
it
like
wasn't
younger
a kid.
guy,
It
younger
was an
guy,
absolute
younger
wank
guy.
of a guy, but
Jeez.
he was younger at the time
Yeah,
and
yeah,
probably
yeah.
stupid. And he had
Damn.
that guy admitted that he was so in the wrong now. But Cantona still says to this day he regrets nothing. And if he was presented with the same situation again, he would have kicked him harder if he could.
And
That's why we all love
that,
Cantona.
Wow.
and in addition, so
how
after
long
the
did he get banned for that? It was
9 months,
quite
I think.
some time.
Yeah, it was a
Yeah.
long
I think Darwin will get a ban.
his official response to that incident in his press conference afterwards was
it was
when the
beautiful.
seagulls follow the trawler, it's because they know sardines will be thrown into the sea. That was all he had to say on it.
It's beautiful, Eric. Beautiful. The guy's just a genius. What can you say?
Yeah.
As much as he played for a team that he literally destroyed my team and lost as a championship.
One thing that sticks out to me, one goal.
I've got a lot of respect for Cantona.
That goal he scored against Sunderland.
Yeah.
The chip from the edge of the box. And he just stood there and turned around one. Probably celebrated. It was like,
yeah.
It was just, there was something about him that was just likable. I don't know.
I was alive while he was playing for United, but I was not particularly conscious, I would say. So I missed his entire career. But as soon as I was aware of football, my dad.
Everybody, when I was at school, everybody was playing with their collar up every time that you would put your football top on to go and play football. Everybody had their collar up with Cantona, unless your football stripped didn't have a collar, and then it was like, I hate my team because they don't have a collar, kind of thing, because you can't do it. So anyway. I don't think there's really much else that we can talk about. I mean, it's kind of all anticipation of what happens on Sunday in your big game, and either you lose and we'll be on as normal on Tuesday, or you win and you guys can have a party
and we'll be on as normal
Tuesday.
Yeah,
and I'll watch it.
I'll get the beers in, lads.
See how it went. Yeah.
Get them pint glasses out around.
I guess all that's left for me to say is check us out on John Reverse Sports, check out the main John Reverse YouTube channel, check us out also on lrmonline.com, and Viva España, and see you next week.
3 Lions.
Oh, love to sunny Spain. Viva.